Hi, everybody. Welcome to Life Wisdom with Ed Langan. I'm your host, Ed Langan. This is the place to come to for practical and spiritual growth, learning, and understanding, and life wisdom from the guides. Life wisdom stands for love, inspiration, faith, and empowerment. And today is Valentine's Day, and we have the Valentine photo up there. Happy Valentine's to everybody. I'm wearing my red shirt today for that reason. And this is our first show, so I'm very excited. On this spiritual talk show, we talk about everything from self-love and creating your own reality to quantum physics and what your soul wants you to know. Today, for Valentine's Day, I have a special show for you. We're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about the most important relationship you have. We're going to talk about, well, I'm going to talk about myself. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. We're going to do sorry, I'm a little nervous, but that's okay. We'll be fine. We'll get through it. I'm going to do a tapping about self-love. And then in the second half, we're going to open it up to the guides and answer questions for you. You can ask questions in the live stream in the chat. I also have some questions that people sent ahead of time that we will answer for you a little bit later. Good. Okay, so thank you for everybody who is liking and sharing all of our programs here at Star Nations. We really appreciate that. We understand that you are seekers, and there are people out there who are seeking this spiritual knowledge, and by liking and sharing and commenting, you're making it easier for them to find it, and we really appreciate that. I don't know if you've been watching Star Nations for a while. There's a lot of really great shows on there. Here are a few that I really like, but there's many of them that are really good. Maureen Mann's show on angel therapy, and I watched it a week or so ago, and I received through Maureen a wonderful message from my grandmother to remind me to be playful and to have more fun. So here you go. This is specifically for my grandmother and to be more playful and for Valentine's Day. So I will keep these on for a minute or two. I can't see anything, but that's all right. All right. There's another couple of wonderful shows by Polly Jo LeBay. She has her chakra sessions, and she also has Soul Connection. Wonderful shows, great spiritual information, healing meditations, things like that. So if you haven't seen them, check them out. There's also Neshi Lokat's programs. She does a live stream every day, and she also does communications from home. And she interviewed me a couple of weeks ago about myself on her show, and it was wonderful. So as you like and share all these shows, all this wonderful, helpful, amazing spiritual information gets out there into the community, and it makes it easier for everybody who's searching for those things to find them. And we all really appreciate that. Thank you. So if you would be kind enough to like and share mine and comment, I would really appreciate it. Good. And now I have to take these off because I can't see a thing. My Elton John glasses. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. If there are any subjects in the future that you would like us to talk about, to do a show on, you can also comment about that, and we will be happy to do that. We will talk about pretty much anything. I am a channel for Ascended Masters. They speak directly through me. I'm a life coach, I'm a law of attraction expert, and I'm a spiritual teacher. Other than that, I'm just a regular dude, whatever that is. So we will cover just about anything. We'll talk about relationships. We'll talk about the law of attraction. We'll talk about creating abundance. We'll talk about money. We'll talk about just about anything you want. So if there's any subjects that you would like to talk about, please let us know. Good. Let's see who's joining us in the live stream today. My wife, Marge, you're going to hear a lot about Marge. She's doing a wonderful job producing the show. So let's check in. Julie Shumway is there, and she liked and shared it. Thank you very much, Julie. Julie Shumway Hill, pardon me. And I have your question, and I'm going to answer your question for you a little bit later. And let's see who else is there today. that may be it for now. Okay, that's fine. That's good. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about me, and then we'll get started. My spiritual path started when I was born, like everybody else, but my spiritual path really started when I was 19 years old. When I was 19 years old, I had decided that I had had enough of school and that I was ready to go out and work and be on my own, because school was not my favorite sport. And so I didn't do great in school. I did fine. It was fine, but I had had enough. So I got a job working in retail, and I worked 5 days a week, and I had 2 days off, and they weren't the weekends, and they weren't even next to each other, because on the weekends is when everybody else is off. So if you're working retail, you work on the weekends. And I'm 19 years old, and I'm looking at that with two weeks vacation, and I'm looking at for the rest of my life. And I'm saying to myself, there has to be more than this. This can't be what life is about. There has to be more. How do you get what you want? How do you be happy? And what is the real reason for life? What is it? It has to be more than this, because if this is what I'm looking forward to, and this is at 19 years old, I'm saying, just kill me now. I don't want to do this. So I knew there had to be more. Now it's interesting. I've talked to a lot of people, and they think that the first calling of source, or the first calling of your spiritual path, is the angels singing this wonderful song, saying, it's violins and harps, and, come to me and come this way and all that. And for some people, it can be that. But for most people, the beginning of their spiritual path is more like, this has to change. I can't stand this anymore, because that's the questioning and the asking. And that's when it really starts. And that's when it really started for me. Interestingly enough, one of the first things that happened on my spiritual path was my father, who is a retired New York City police officer and is the greatest teacher I have ever had. He told me to read some books. He told me to read As a Man Thinketh. What were a couple of the other ones? Think and Grow Rich, Psycho-Cybernetics, The Science of Mind, things like that. And that really set me on my path to the law of attraction. Interestingly enough, around the same time, Marianne Williamson was on Oprah, and Marge would say to me, I think you need to watch this. And I was I was a young hoodlum, and I'm like, I'm not watching Oprah. That's not going to happen. We're just not going to do it. And I did watch a little bit. Don't tell anybody. And Marianne Williamson was talking about her book, A Return to Love. And I was not someone who liked to read, so I wasn't interested in reading it, but Marge was smart enough to get me the cassette tapes. And I listened to the cassette tapes in my car back and forth to work, and everywhere I drew over. I basically wore them out. I listened to it all the time. And Marianne Williamson talked about A Course in Miracles. And Marjorie talked about it with me and said, I think we should do that. And I'm like, it's impossible. We can't do that. So I don't know if you're familiar with A Course in Miracles or not, but A Course in Miracles is, the first part is the text and the understanding. And the second part is 365 exercises you do every single day for a year that shifts your thinking from a fear-based thinking to a love-based thinking. Now, I thought all of that was a really good idea, but I thought it's impossible. There's no way that we can do this for every single day, Christmas, Easter, New Year's, Thanksgiving. It can't be done. There's no chance that we can do this. Marjorie was very patient, as she always is, and the book appeared in our house, and it was laying around. And then finally we said, well, all right, I think we'll give it a try and see what happens. And we did it. We did all 365 days, and it definitely helped and shifted our thinking. And then 6 months later, we felt inspired to do it again. So we actually did the exercises in A Course in Miracles twice, which I thought was impossible. And the interesting thing is, the very next day after the second time we did it, and the last exercise in A Course in Miracles says, This is not the end. This is only the beginning. The very next day, someone handed me an Abraham tape. Now, I don't know if you know who Abraham is. Abraham is a group of ascended beings, a group of non-physical beings who are channeled through Esther Hicks. And that really connected me. That really felt like the right information to me. And that's really where my law of attraction and my understanding of law of attraction really started. That's when I started knowing that I was a channel. Abraham said that some of you out there are going to start getting us and we're going to start speaking through you. And I knew they were talking to me because it was already happening. I didn't realize that I was a channel my entire life. And if you saw Neshi's show, Communications from Home, I had talked about that. And if you haven't, you can read about it in Star Nations magazine. And Neshi is there. Hi, Neshi. How are you? Nice to see everybody in the live chat. Excellent. Thank you. So you can see that on her show, which is in the archive, or you can read about it in the magazine. I'm going to continue the story in my next column about myself. The other thing that Abraham said is Abraham told some of us that we were going to write a book. And here is mine, Creating with the Law of Attraction, 10 Principles That Will Change Your Life. I wrote this because of them. That's how I became a law of attraction expert. And that's a little bit about me, and I will tell you more about me. Hi, Polly Joe, how are you? Thank you for checking in. Nice to see you. Marjorie and I absolutely love her, and we have had the opportunity to teach at her school, which is amazing, and we're here on Star Nations because of her. So thank you, Polly Joe. Ellen is here. Hi, Ellen, how are you? Thank you for liking and sharing the show. I really appreciate it. And we all appreciate it. Stephanie Williams is here. Stephanie, thank you for liking and sharing. I appreciate it. Nice to see you. Tina is here. Tina liked and shared. Thank you, Tina. I really appreciate that. And we appreciate it. Excellent. Let's see who else is here, if anybody else is going to pop up. I think that's it for now. Oh, Maureen Mann. Hi, Maureen. How are you? Thank you for joining in. I appreciate it. Nice to see you, or to see you in the chat. I can see you in my mind. You know what I mean. All right. Excellent. Good. We'll see if anybody else pops up. Marge is producing the show, and she is doing a great job. Thank you very much, Marge. I appreciate it. All right. You ready to talk about relationships? Let's talk about relationships. The most important relationship you have is, you ready? Drum roll. The one you have with yourself, which seems obvious when you say it, but a lot of people don't think about that. They think that the most obvious relationship they have is with other people. Now, you tell the world how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. And if you're not your own best friend, who is supposed to be? Your goldfish? And Marge has a wonderful picture of a goldfish up there for you to think about that. But if you're not your own best friend, who's supposed to be? The way you treat yourself is the way you tell the world to treat you. Now, are you hard on yourself? Do you talk bad in your mind? Do you say crap to yourself? And if you said that to your friends, would they still be your friends? So the question is, why are you doing that? Why are you continuing to talk like that? You have the power to stop that and to change that. And this is one of the ways that you can do that. When you hear the critic's voice talking in your head, instead of sort of fighting with it or getting into a conversation with it or anything like that, stop and pause for a second and ask, whose voice is that? And listen for a second and see. Most of the time, you're going to realize that it's not your voice. It might be a parent, might be a grandparent, might be a school teacher, might be a boss, might be a spouse, but it's not yours. What happens is and we're going to talk about this a little bit more later. You are the most amazing, super dynamic computer there is in the entire world. We are all biological, amazing computers. And the software that gets programmed into you is what runs. And that's part of why we do that. And we're going to talk about how to start shifting and changing that a little bit later. Let's talk about babies. And there's a beautiful picture of a baby there. Marge is doing a great job. Babies eat, sleep, and poop. And yet they rule the world, right? Think about it. The parents are doing everything for them. Everybody comes over to see the baby. Whenever you see someone with a baby, you walk up and you talk to the baby. You ignore the mother who's holding the baby, you talk to the baby. Babies rule the world because babies are still more spirit than human because they haven't been taught any of the nonsense yet. No baby is born saying, I'm going to be a worrier. No baby is born saying, I'm going to grow up and have bad self-esteem. No baby is born growing up saying, I'm going to grow up and hate my body. I'm going to grow up and not love myself. They don't. Someone has to teach them that. And if someone is teaching them that, you can unlearn that. You can shift that and you can change that. And that's where it starts. Now, we are these amazing super biological computers, and we're going to talk about that, and we're going to shift that in a minute. All right. Now, this is fun, and this is something that we do in the workshops, and I'm going to see, it might be a trick. You never know. You guys don't know me that well yet, but I do occasionally ask trick questions. So here you go. What I'd like to know is, where is God? Point to God. And usually a few people are fooled, but most people point right to here. They point to their heart. Can you see that? They point to their heart. They understand that God is inside, which means that you are all a spark of God. Think about everything that God created. Think about the Grand Canyon and the beautiful ocean and all of the amazing things that's out there for us to see. The stars in the skies, the mountains, all those beautiful things. God created all of that. There's the stars, beautiful. And God created you. Now, I want to get back to where God is. The Christ said, the kingdom of God is within. And the Buddha said that God is hidden in the hearts of all men. So think about that. Think about who you are. Think about all this beauty out there, the stars and the ocean and flowers and all of that beautiful stuff that God made, which we all agree is amazing. And God made you too. Now, how many people are there in the world? Do you know? I'm going to tell you, there's 7.5 billion people in the world right now, and there's only one of you in the entire universe. And God is inside of you. Look at the beauty of flowers that is so short-lived. The flowers come and go, and yet here you are. You're that beautiful, beautiful being. You are a miracle. And I want to remind you who you are. I want you to remember that you're a spark of God. Now, remembering that is not arrogant. It's not egotistical, but it's knowing who you are and remembering who you are. We're not saying going around and act like a diva or, none of that stuff, but we're saying remember who you are. Remember that from within. You are a miracle. You are the only one of you in the entire universe. And look at the beauty that God made. Look at that we saw the pictures of the sea and the mountains and the Grand Canyon and all of that amazing stuff. And God made you too. What does that make you? How important are you? Think about it. And you were saying, oh, I have low self-esteem, or I hate my body, or I don't look good, or I'm not smart, or I'm not this, or I'm not that. None of that is true. Someone taught you all of that. And if someone taught you that, you can unlearn it. We were taught to play small. We were taught that we're not enough. We were taught not to be arrogant and egotistical, but knowing who we are is not arrogant and egotistical. It's remembering who we are. Some of you have heard this before, and I'm going to read it to you. And this is from Nelson Mandela's inaugural speech in 1994. And it goes like this. Our deepest fears is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. You playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Guys, it's time to stop playing small. It's time to remember who you are and embrace that and work on shifting that and changing that. And that's part of what our work is, and that's what we do and what we help people do. That was actually written by Marianne Williamson, and it was used by Nelson Mandela as part of his 1994 inaugural speech. And Nelson Mandela, if you don't remember, was the president of South Africa. All right. This is also a practical show. So here's a practical thing for you. What you can do if you'd like to work on this and improve your self-esteem is make a list of 15 positive aspects about you. Now, you're all watching my show, so I know right away. I know you're smart. So there's an easy one. You're smart. There you go. All right. 15 things about you. Thank you, Polly Joe. I really appreciate that. I love you too. And then what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to ask one of your closest trusted friends to tell you some positive aspects about yourself too, and then compare the lists. And here's the interesting thing. Both lists are true, your list and her list, or his list, depending on who it is, and then add them both and start paying attention to that. It's not being arrogant. It's not being egotistical. It's remembering and knowing who you are. There's a difference between an internal knowing and an internal love for yourself than standing up on top and yelling, I'm the greatest and all this other crap, because the person who's doing that actually doesn't love themselves. So there's a much different energy there. There's a much different thing. And it's a matter of knowing and remembering who you are. Remember the Grand Canyon. Remember the sea. Remember all that. God made all of that, and that's all part of you. That's how amazing you are. All right. Everyone is a supercomputer. We're shifting gears a little bit here, but segues are for kids, so here we go. And there's a wonderful picture of a baby looking in the mirror. And what the baby sees when they look in the mirror is they see who they really are. They see the love. They remember who they are. And as we get older, we look in the mirror and go, oh, my hair looks stupid, or I'm fat, or I'm this, or I'm that, and the other thing. And we forget the joy, we forget the fun, we forget the love of looking in the mirror and who we are and seeing who we are. So here's another thing for you to do, and this is called mirror work. Look in the mirror and say to yourself, I love you, and mean it. Look deep into your soul and say it. Not the Bud Light commercial, I love you, man. No, say it for real and mean it. Look in the mirror and say to yourself, I am enough. I love me. I am worthy. Yes, I can. What's happening is we are supercomputers. The problem is we're all living in the past. All of our neural pathways in our brain are already created. So everything that we're living as we use our neural pathways has already happened. So it's already in the past. So what you need to do, and need isn't the right word, you can choose to do this. What we suggest that you do is you look in the mirror and do the mirror work and some of the super tapping and other things that we're going to give you later, and you start reprogramming your neural pathways. And as you do that, things begin to change. But if you don't do anything and you keep letting the loops run in your head, nothing's going to change. You have to reprogram your computer. You have to create new neural pathways because your computer exists in the past. So as you shift and change that, and as you work in the moment to do that, which is doing the mirror work and being present to do that, that will shift that energy. But you have to create new neural pathways. I'm enough. I love me. Yes, I can. I've got this. I'm good enough. I'm valuable. I'm worthy. Do you say any of those things to yourself? Do it. Please do it. The world needs you to remember who you are and to be that amazing person that you are, to shine bright like you did when you were a baby. Perfect. Remember, growth is always outside of your comfort zone. So if you're feeling a little uncomfortable, perfect. That's where you want to be because that's where your growth is. Excellent. We're flying right along here. We're doing great. You want to do an EFT tapping on self-love for Valentine's Day. We're going to do that right now. Let me tell you a little bit about the emotional freedom technique, which is EFT tapping. And you may have heard me say before that when I originally heard about this, I thought it was baloney. And I used a different word than that, which I'm not going to use on my TV show. And there's a reason for that. The reason why I didn't think it worked, and I had lots of coach friends and lots of therapists and other people who I know and who are in the same business as I am, saying to me they use it all the time for their clients and it works really well. And I kept saying, nope. I am a law of attraction expert. And the first part of EFT tapping is they say, we're going to focus on the negative. And as soon as they said that, I'm going, yeah, we're out. I'm out. I'm done. Goodbye. They get the big cross, not the little cross, the big cross. I'm done. I'm out. None of them explained to me that the way this works is when you do the negative round, it riles up the energy so that it can be moved out and clear it out. So what we do is we tap on different energy points on our bodies, different parts of the energy meridian. So it's like acupuncture or acupressure, and we very gently tap around our body. And we say, the first time we say negative things to sort of rile up the energy. And then the second two times we say positive things to keep the energy flowing and to shift it and change it. Now, normally when I do this in a workshop, I would say the statement and I would have everybody in the audience repeat it to me. Now, what I'm going to do for the recording here is I'm going to say the statement and I'm going to say it again with you guys as you repeat it. So you'll hear it twice on the recording. This will be archived on all three of my Facebook pages. It will be archived on Star Nation's Facebook page, and it will also be archived on Star Nation's YouTube. So you'll be able to go back and look at it again in the archive and be able to continue to do it. Marge is putting up my Facebook page right there for you. Good. So let me put this up here, right up here like this, and we're going to do this. So the first one is the negative round, and the first place that we start, the first tapping is on the karate chop part of your hand right here. So we're going to start right here, and you're just going to gently tap right here, just like that. And this is the statement. And I'm going to say it twice. Once I'm going to say it, and then once we would say it together. Others have taught me unworthiness, and I have been keeping that belief going within me. And we all say together, others have taught me unworthiness, and I have been keeping that belief going within me. Even though I felt the pain of not loving myself, I now choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have felt the pain of not loving myself, I now choose to completely and deeply love and accept myself. Even though I have been taught not to love myself, I now choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have been taught not to love myself, I now choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. All right, I'm going to take my glasses off so you can see where we are. So the next point is right where your eyebrow starts, and you can use either side. It doesn't matter. And when you're tapping around your eye, make sure you tap very, very gently. So here we go. This is what we're going to say here. I have been living in the past. I have been living in the past. Side of the eye is right on the orbit bone. And again, very, very gently. I have believed that I am not worthy. I have believed that I am not worthy. Under the eye, right under the pupil, and again, very, very gently. I am listening to my inner critic and agreeing with it. I am listening to my inner critic and agreeing with it. I can feel that coming up in me. It's making me mad just saying that. Under my nose, I was taught conditional love. I was taught conditional love. Chin, I was taught that love has to be earned. I was taught that love has to be earned. Collarbone. Now, the collarbone one is a little tricky. It's from the collarbone, you're supposed to go down an inch and out an inch. I'm going to lean back so you can see me. Now, I have a big old hand, so I just go like this and get it that way. So just do that with your hand. Collarbone. I have felt the pain of not being loved. I have felt the pain of not being loved. The wrist is about 3 fingers down from your hand bone. So just right there, just tap with your hand and you'll get it. Good. I was taught not to love myself. I was taught not to love myself. And the top of your head is supposed to be right in the center of your head. Again, just use your whole hand and that way you're getting it. I have been hurt in the past. I have been hurt in the past. Take a deep breath. And as you do the negative round, that riles you up. That actually riled me up a little bit. That's interesting. So now we're going to do some positive rounds and move that energy out. So again, we start with the karate chop. And I'm going to read the statement. There we go, karate chopping. I am now releasing all my thoughts and beliefs that I am not worthy, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am now releasing all my thoughts and beliefs that I am not worthy, and I completely and deeply love and accept myself. I am now releasing all my thoughts and beliefs that I am not lovable, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am now releasing all my thoughts and beliefs that I am not lovable, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am releasing all my thoughts and beliefs that I am not valuable, and I now completely and deeply love and accept myself. I am now releasing all my thoughts and beliefs that I am not valuable, and I completely and deeply love and accept myself. Perfect. I just have to turn this over, and we'll continue with the positive round. There we go. So again, same, we start with the eyebrow right here. I now accept myself as I am. I now accept myself as I am. Side of the eye. I embrace all of me. I embrace all of me. Under the eye. I am enough. I am enough. Under the nose. I am choosing to love me. I am choosing to love me. Chin. I am going to uplift myself. I am going to uplift myself. Collarbone. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. Wrist. I am giving myself permission to love me. I am giving myself permission to love me. Top of the head. Love has no conditions. Love has no conditions. Take a deep breath and exhale. Good. That moves some of the energy. We're going to do it again. We're going to move some more. So we're going to start with the karate chop, and we're going to go right here. I am now releasing all my thoughts and beliefs that I am not worthy, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am now releasing all my thoughts and beliefs that I am not worthy, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am now releasing all my thoughts and beliefs that I am not lovable, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am now releasing all my thoughts and beliefs that I am not lovable, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am now releasing all my thoughts and beliefs that I am not valuable, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am now releasing all my thoughts and beliefs that I am not valuable, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Good. And now we're going to go through the spots again. I am releasing the past. I am releasing the past. Side of the eye. I am releasing my past beliefs about my worth. I am releasing my past beliefs about my worth. Under the eye. I am worthy. I am worthy. Say that one again. I am worthy. Good. Under your nose. I now choose to like me. I now choose to like me. Chin. I am a good person. I am a good person. Collarbone. I've decided to be my own friend. I've decided to be my own friend. Wrist. I've decided to love me. I've decided to love me. Top of the head. I've decided that I'm enough. I've decided that I'm enough. Take a deep breath. Good. Excellent. Hopefully you'll feel some of the energy shifted there. That's a really good tapping script. I like that one a lot. I actually felt some movement on that also. So I hope you enjoyed it. That's EFT tapping. We will do that just about in every single show unless we do a meditation. And you can do tapping on many, many things. So that was one of the tappings that we did. All right. I think that's good. I think we're ready to check in with the guides. Right? I'm looking to see if there's anything else here. Nope. All right. Before I do that, I'm just going to grab a sip of water here. Excellent. Good. Thank you. So I do have 4 questions ahead of time that were sent in, and I'm going to start with those. So the first one, give me a second here. It's a little challenge to read and bring the guides in at the same time, but we're going to do it. We're going to get through it. They're going to help me. They're going to send me a guide who can read. So the first one is from Esperanza Stevens. I know I'm going through a spiritual awakening process. I have listened to several YouTube videos. I consulted with trusted healers, mediums, shamans, etc. How do I know for certain whether it's my ego or my higher self that I am listening to and interpreting this information? I keep second guessing myself. How do I maintain inner peace and knowing? Thank you, Esperanza, for your wonderful question. We really appreciate it. The first thing that we would like to say to you is, are you meditating? When you get onto your spiritual path, and this happens to a lot of people, and it happened to Ed also, is all of a sudden you're in a hurry. I want to know the answers. I want to know everything. And you're really, really in a hurry. And we want to ask you, have you ever been in a car with kids who are going on a long trip, and are we there yet? 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 So what we would like you to do, Esperanza, is relax. Relax. The way to know where the information is coming from is by how it feels. If it's resonating with your heart, then it's connected and spiritual and part of who you are, and that's how it works. If it's bouncing around your head and making you and giving you frenetic energy, then it's not necessarily true. And that's not fair. It's not that it's not necessarily true. It's not necessarily resonating with you. There is a lot of spiritual information out there. There's lots and lots of teachers. Everybody reaches different audience, and that's all good, because we don't all like chocolate, and we don't all like vanilla, and we don't all like country, and we don't all like rock and roll. So there has to be all kinds of variety. But just because there's all kinds of variety doesn't mean that all of it is going to connect with you. So work on checking in with how you feel, but first get yourself relaxed. Get yourself into a meditative state and then go there. We want to ask you, in nature, does everything get done in time? And do you think plants hurry, or do you think birds hurry? Do you think the geese hurry up and fly south for the winter? They don't. It's a human thing. So relax a little bit about it and let it flow and let it come through. Okay? The guides are reminding me that we forgot to tell you something, so I'm going to find that information right here and share that with you right now. The guides can be very direct and sometimes blunt, but it always comes from a place of love and from a loving place. The more focused and powerful the question, the more focused and powerful the answer from the guides. We'd like you to remember that this is indeed a public forum, so we don't want to air anybody's dirty laundry. The other thing is, sometimes my voice changes as they jump into my throat. Sometimes my voice gets deeper. It's perfectly normal. And they want you to know that you always have free will. Perfect. Excellent. Our next question comes from Julie Shumway-Hill. And Julie is asking, I would like to ask, are there any messages for me about my writing? With my writing, I'm feeling like I'm moving towards a new focus, but I'm not getting a clear message on my emerging path, so I'm looking for some clarity. Thank you, Julie. It's a wonderful question. And what we would like you to do, and again, you have free will, you can do whatever you want, is we want you to start programming your supercomputer about writing. See yourself writing. See yourself enjoying the process. See yourself doing the process. Start telling yourself that I am a writer. Start telling yourself that you're doing your writing and that's where your focus is. The reason why you're not sure what is you're supposed to be writing is because it's not lined up energetically for you just yet. And there's two reasons for that. The first reason could be that you're not in alignment with writing yet. And we do feel a tiny little bit of that. We don't feel a lot of it. And the other thing is the timing isn't right yet. When we're on our spiritual path and when we're doing our work and when we're moving forward, trust is a big part of this. How is not our job. Timing is not our job. The universe takes care of that. Our job is to be ready. Our job is to let the energy flow and to be ready so that as things line up and fall into place, we're ready and it moves forward. So your writing is coming. The inspiration that you're looking for will be coming to you soon. Put yourself in a little more alignment and then trust that it's coming, and it will. Good. Thank you, Julie. That's a wonderful question. We appreciate it. The next one comes from Kimberly Griffiths. I would like to ask a question about my future relationship, please. As I feel it must be a soul connection. I am on a spiritual journey and feel ready to have a new relationship in my life. I wonder if you can check in with my spiritual team if it would be this year. I would love to be guided to the right person. Kim, that's a wonderful question for our Valentine's Day show. Thank you so much, and we really love it. And the answer is everything that we talked about in this show. When you love yourself, the person that you're seeking can't help but come to you. But all relationships, romantic and otherwise, everything starts with you loving yourself. The more you love yourself, the more that energy flows, the more that allows that to come in. You're giving your power away a little bit by saying, I'd love to be guided to the right person or this or that. It's all about attraction. You can't not be attracted to the right person because the universe is a mirror and everything is reflecting back to you. So what you're putting out, you're getting. So think about it. If what you're putting out is what you're getting, as you love yourself more and allow the energy of love to flow within you, you're going to attract love into your experience. Part of what we feel for you is a little bit of what we also told Esperanza. You're in the car with the kids going, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Try to relax, try to ease up. As you do that, the person that you're looking for is right around you. The energy is right around you. There's a woman that Ed and Marge know from Chicago who she was looking for her partner and looking for a partner and looking for a partner and looking for her partner. And finally, when her energy shifted and raised enough and she started loving herself more, she ran into this man who eventually became to her husband. And they found out that they went to the same gym. They were in the same bars and restaurants all the time. They had been to the same movies. They had some of the same friends and this and that for years and years and years. And they never met each other because they weren't a match yet. So Kim, you will be a match to someone very soon, but the person you want to match the most is yourself. Love yourself more, and that will attract it in. Thank you. And there's a question from Polly Joe. We'll get to Polly Joe in 1 second. I have one more from Pat. And Pat is asking about a condition in her body, and she feels it on one side. And what we'd like to say to Pat McDonald, is it feels to us like this is a boundaries issue. Sometimes when you have issues with your spine, that's about not setting boundaries and not being strong enough in your boundaries. And when you're an energy person and when you're sensitive and when you're empath, it's hard to set boundaries because we feel the energy of the person. We don't want to disappoint them, people pleasing, all kinds of different things like that. So that's what it feels like. The other thing that we would like to say to you is, do you watch Polly Joe's show, The Soul Connection? She does some wonderful healing meditations, which will help you. We would also suggest that you do some Reiki and do some other energy work like that and start releasing that and set stronger boundaries and start to see yourself differently. Hopefully that is an answer for you. Thank you, Pat. We appreciate it. And Polly Joe is asking, do the guides have any words of wisdom for me? And they do. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you burning the candle at both ends? Are you running a little bit too much and not taking enough time for yourself? Your energy feels sort of very hurried and we know that you're really good about centering and grounding and taking care and you do a lot of work with your students and things like that, but they want you to pay a little bit more attention to self-care and pay a little bit more attention to yourself. If you are not currently in the middle of an upgrade, there is one coming, and has to do with the energy of springtime and perhaps the equinox, things like that. So we feel that coming. So self-care is going to be important, and the guides love the work that you're doing. They're very excited about the work that you're doing. They since we know each other and we've been there, they kind of pop in and see what you're doing and pay attention and sometimes help you out. So some of my guides are going, that's interesting that they're saying that. So we really appreciate that. Thank you, Polly Joe. And hopefully that helps. All right. And Margaret Spooner, am I incorrect in interpreting the signs in my path of what they are saying? So, Margaret, when you're trying to interpret signs and trying to understand, it always comes back to, what does it feel like in your heart? Does it resonate with you? Or are you in your head? And if you're in your heart and it resonates in your heart, then yes, you are interpreting the signs correctly and you are moving in the right direction. And if you're not, it's in your head. Now, when these things come up and when we're talking to clients in coaching sessions, readings and stuff like that, we tell people, make a decision. And if it turns out to be the wrong decision, make a decision. And if it turns out to be the wrong decision, make a decision. So the thing that we want you to do is move your energy forward instead of second guessing yourself. See how it feels in your heart. If it feels right, do it, and then go from there. Everything is about the law of attraction. Everything is being attracted into your experience, and it's a mirror. So look in the mirror and try to look at it from a non-judgmental point, a non-judgmental place, and just say, what is this? And then go from there. Here it is. This is a big spiritual concept, and like all big spiritual concepts, it starts with Shakespeare, because Shakespeare is who you think of when you think of spiritual concepts, right? Well, anyway, here it goes. Shakespeare said, nothing is neither good nor bad, but thinking that makes it so. A Course in Miracles said, I give everything I see all the meaning it has for me. So in other words, you're choosing what everything means. You're deciding. Now, you only have three choices. You can decide it's bad, and the energy runs that way. You can decide it's good, and the energy runs that way. Or you can decide, I don't know. Now, we don't want you to think that we always want you to land on it's good, because that's not necessarily possible, and it's not realistic. But what we would like you to try to do is land on I don't know instead of it's bad, because if you land on it's bad, the energy starts running in that direction really quickly. So if you can land on I don't know, that gives you a second to pause and to feel, to check in with your heart rather than listen to the talk in your head. Check in with your heart. How does it feel? And remember, the universe is a mirror, and everything is being reflected back to you. Everything is the law of attraction. You have complete and total free will all the time. You get to reprogram the neural pathways in your head, in your brain. You're the one who does that. Do your work and start reprogramming it. Love yourself first. I'm enough. I'm worthy. I can do this. I'm good enough. Love is unconditional. I love me. Different things like that. Say those things and start shifting your program. Start changing your program. Good. I don't know if we have, oh, yes, we do. Tina has a question. Tina, thank you. I have two sons, one daughter. One son passed, and I have went through a lot of stress with all three and their dad also. I thought came to me that this is karma from a past life. I'm very tired of all this with them. Help. Tina, are you having time to take care of yourself? Are you able to find a little time to meditate and to do that? That will help. But we're going to give you an exercise to do that is completely counterintuitive, but it works. What we would like you to do, and we learned this from Abraham, what we would like you to do is make a list of positive aspects of the people that are giving you consternation, that are causing you upset. And what that does is it raises your energy. It changes your energy about them, and they need to come up to where you are and shift. So you're in a completely different place when you do that. This will start to help and start to ease things up as you shift the energy and change your focus. That will change the world around you, and you will be guided to what to do. Try to meditate more, try to relax, and remember, we're deciding this is good, this is bad. See if you can decide it's neutral and relax a little bit with it. Very good. Thank you very much, Tina. Here we go. Maureen Mann. Hi, Maureen. What guidance do the guides have for me about my vibration? Relax. Relax. There's been a lot of the relax message today. That's interesting. So they'd like you to relax. You are growing and moving into new situations where you're going to have more clients, you're going to have more visibility, you're going to be seen more, you're going to see your energy is expanding and moving out, and you're going to become much more visible, busier, and things like that, which is all good for you. But the thing that they're saying to you is very similar to what they said to Polly Joe: self-care. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're grounding. Make sure you're doing your meditation. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Make sure you're drinking enough water. And they're saying, woohoo, it's going to be a fun ride. So sit back and enjoy. And make sure that you take care of yourself. Self-love. What do they say on the airplane? They say when the oxygen mask comes down, put it on yourself first, then help other people, which all of us who are in this work, we have trouble doing that. We're always trying to help other people first. So help yourself first. Thank you, Maureen. I don't know if there's any others. Yes, there are. How to make money work on internet, man. How to make money work on internet, man. Okay. Everything starts with what you think. So start reprogramming your computer, your supercomputer, to allow money to flow into your experience. Money is the thing that can cause the most frustration for most people. So money is something that Marge is giving me a high sign here. I see her. Thank you, Marge. Money is something that causes a lot of people consternation. So what we'd like you to do is think about what emotions would you feel if you had money, or when you get money. Will it bring you joy? Will it make you happy? Will it make you feel freedom? Will it make you, and focus on that. Focus on the feelings of what it would be like to have them. And usually for a lot of people, the first feeling when they have money is, and you sort of relax, and then there's an eagerness and an excitement. So focus on that. This is the thing about the universe, and we're going to talk about this a lot as we talk about law of attraction. The universe cannot tell the difference between you thinking about something or you actually doing it. As far as the universe is concerned, it's the exact same thing. So when you're focusing on what it feels like to have money, when you're telling yourself the story of having abundance and having money, the universe thinks it's the same thing. That's what we would like you to do. Tell yourself the story of what it's like to have money. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for the question. Roberta, thinking I am being led into an artistic therapy direction, especially to help ground children. Any insight? Wonderful question. A great place to be. Great energy, great work to do that artistic therapy. We do feel that you are being led in that direction. We feel that you have been putting your thoughts and your focus in that direction, which leads you in that direction. And we feel that that is a good match for you. What we would like you to do is start telling the story in your mind of what it's like to do that, and how much fun you have with the children, and how much you enjoy doing this, and how you enjoy feeling the energy and sharing the artwork and the eagerness and the excitement that all these wonderful children feel as you're doing this, and the lifting and the vibration. When people are happy and joyful and creating, their vibration naturally raises. And if you can help facilitate children do that, that will also raise your vibration, and the things that you've been asking for and attracting will come into your experience even quicker. So that's a wonderful thing. Excellent for you. Thank you. Let's see if we have any other questions. Let's see if Marge is going to put something up there. Maureen, man, thank you. Woohoo. Ed is right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Maureen. I love it. And thank you for the wonderful message from my grandmother with my Elton John glasses. Margaret is saying, thank you. That was great. You're welcome, Margaret. Thank you. We appreciate it. And when I say we, I mean myself, the guides, and Marjorie. Thank you. Thank you very much. Excellent. Marge is going to put up some other comments if there are any. Mara, thank you, Mara. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad you liked it. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. And we'll see if any others pop up. Exactly the energy I feel. Thank you, from Roberta. Thank you, Roberta. I'm excited for you doing the art therapy. That's going to be fun. Makes me wish I was a kid again. I'd love to go do it with you. All right. All right. So I think we're good. Let us know if there's any subjects that you would like to talk about. Yes, we are going to do a show on law of attraction. Yes, we are going to do a show about attracting money. We're going to do all of that stuff. But if there are specific things, and remember, we are going to open the second half to the guides all the time for you to ask questions. If you're interested in personal sessions with me, coaching, readings, whatever it might be, you can contact us through my email or through the website, or message through any of the Facebook pages that Marge has been putting up. And we appreciate all of that. And if you live anywhere in Massachusetts, we do teach workshops in Massachusetts. We are going to be moving out into further expanding the area this year, the guides are telling us, but right now it's only Massachusetts. So again, you can check out the website and see us. I would like to say a huge thank you to Marge. She did an amazing job producing the show. Thank you. I love you, sweetheart. I'd like to thank Neshi. She did a wonderful job teaching us how to do this and inviting us to be here. And I'd like to thank all of you for your part in this. We really appreciate that. And it's your energy that helps move this and pull this forward. We will see you next month. Light and love, guys.